be nice if they come and there's more, there's like actually people.
Yeah, of course.
Someone needs to learn some cybersecurity terms in Spanish.
Yeah. But, it'll probably be more of a general discussion. Because I think a few years the Mexican government, they may have changed, but they were upset with Microsoft. So one of the previous Mexican governments decided to put all government computers on open source, and they went to Linux.
When?
This years ago.
Oh, okay.
This is before AMLO. Right? Andres Lopez Obrador. Right. So before him was it Calderon? Felipe Calderon, the Mexican president? I thought it was Calderon, but maybe it was somebody else. But it's been a couple of presidents back. They've been to Linux. Might have even been before Calderon.
And they're still Linux?
I don't know if they're still Linux.
Oh, Peña Nieto was before.
Peña Nieto,
Yeah.
right? He was a priest, and then there was Calderon, then Peña Nieto. Yeah. So, because a Mexican president can only serve one term. And then, depending on who they, because a lot of people say this is really AMLO's second term. Because, what's her name? Sheinbaum, Gloria Sheinbaum. They said she's just going to do everything he tells her. We'll see. She may kind of wake up and say, I'm president, right? All right, let's listen to this guy. What's he going to do? Right? Okay, so we were going to talk a little bit about, I probably should have.
Did we ever finish the homework that we're supposed to do?
What?
Like find what they were supposed to do in Russia, if like the lights went out. Like what were some other thing? Like we were supposed to do homework for that other day, but I didn't hear if you asked people what they were gonna do. Remember we said if Russia they cut out the internet, like what would you do instead?
Oh yeah, that was just I just wanted your personal.
Yeah.
What would happen if we got a major cyber attack and we all,
Or they cut the internet, like what would you do, right?
Cut the internet, because they can do that with their own country.
Yeah.
There was an FBI today. The FBI released a notification that working with Sophos, I think it's a UK-based cybersecurity firm. They went in and took down a Russian botnet because the Russians were putting some disinformation. They had shown supposedly FBI agents raiding the Democratic Party, saying that the Democrats were rigging voting machines and all. Well, all that was totally bogus. They took a picture from years ago on an unrelated thing, and then tried to, So, and then they even faked the voice of a guy who's a cybersecurity investigator with Bellingcat, saying that, he's narrating this, but it wasn't his real voice. And so he's come out and said, no, that wasn't me. And the FBI said, no, that's the Russian botnet. They took it down. They said there's just going to be tons of stuff like this, like they did Deep Fake with Kamala Harris.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
So it's going to be insane for the next 2 days, but they said it's probably going to be, it's going to continue, even after the election's over, because no matter who wins, they're going to be posting stuff saying it was all fraud.
Of course, as usual.
And the other side is to try to rile, because Putin wants us to have a civil war.
Really?
Duh.
Why? I mean, but why? Why would he need?
Because we're his big enemy. We're supporting Ukraine.
So having a war on Among Us is going to stop that? I don't think so.
And no. He wants us internally to fight each other.
Even if we fight each other internally, you think we're still not going to help Ukraine or help Israel? We're going to do it?
No.
You don't think so? You think that would stop?
We'll lose focus.
Well, that's it. We'll lose focus.
But regardless, America, 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 And too many other countries are going to be helping Israel regardless.
It's kind of actually,
So,
it's
you know?
now because several of the European governments, France said they're going to not give them weapons.
Yeah, they
the
say.
UK, no,
They
they're
say.
not going to. I'm
But,
telling
you know.
they're not going to.
But they're
Because first of
still.
all, what's happening, it's becoming real expensive, and all these countries are running into economic problems, and it's too much money. And their governments, like all those countries, their governments are right now being challenged by opposition parties about where's all this money going. And Macron's a lame duck, but he now has a coalition. He doesn't have, his party's not in control. So they may not allocate them. So he's trying to make it sound like it's his decision not to spend the money. But really, his parliament is like, we're not giving you any money.
But there's so many others that are still behind Israel to help them regardless.
Name one, besides the United States. Germany's has reduced transfer of weapons. They're not getting any money from the other European countries. Everybody's got their own problems nowadays. Spain just got that massive flood.
Yeah.
Massive flood.
That's true.
They got the city of Valencia got a year's worth of business. I'm going to advance a premise, and you guys can tell me what you think.
Okay.
Okay, the premise is this. You know, I spend a lot of time on internet cybersecurity sites, looking at breach incidents and all that. And I'm coming to the opinion that the internet is not securable. It's like a leaky boat, and there's just too many holes in it, and all we do is plug a hole and another one pops. I just don't think it's securable. The current architecture of it has too many vulnerabilities. And whenever we think we've come up with a patch, or they just find another workaround. So what do you all think? Am I crazy? Is the internet not securable? I mean, it's more work for you guys, right? You get out there in the business world, and it's like you're constantly patching and nobody.
Technology is always evolving, so regardless, we're always going to find another way to fix it.
So let's think about what that would mean. Because right now we're talking about, this course is a governance course, which means what? It means divorce, right? And we know that there are nation-state actors who are using it to, in my opinion, conduct warfare, right? We're talking about Russia attacking our electoral system, trying to spread chaos and discontent.
Yeah.
China's stealing everything that's not nailed down, all our technology. Iran tries to they've tried to go after our electrical grid. They're not as sophisticated. And North Korea is after our money, especially crypto.
The only thing that I could say of maybe, and I said it before, the only thing that maybe could stop like everything is if there was a way to authenticate people, like the whole world. This is for the whole world. They could not get on the internet. They could not have access to the internet, period, unless there was some authentication toward it.
So are we thinking of a biometric?
Whatever you want to think of is up to you. But that would be the only way. No one could get on the internet unless there was
Prick your finger, put
like
a little blood on there, DNA.
well, no, because then I could just kill the guy and use the DNA to do what I wanted to. So that wouldn't be, but something.
Iris scan, retinal
The guy could be
scan,
dead. You could still do that though. But something.
Some kind of authentication.
Something like that, or multiple authentications to have access to the internet. That would be maybe something that could help everyone. further.
For those of you who came in a little late, I'm asking that everybody be here Monday because we're gonna have visitors. Monday. We're gonna have a class from Mexico.
It's gonna be this room.
Yeah. The Autonomous University of Pueblo León. We've got dozens. And we'll probably just talk a little bit about, ask them questions, talk a little bit about, their internet privacy rules, kind of things that they do with their internet. Maybe mix it with government policy, how different it is from ours. So, I was looking at also, you guys are responding on the discussion board. So we were talking a little bit about the Internet Governance Forum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this idea of, somebody mentioned sustainable development and capacity building, right? So part of the conversation I get a lot from that organization is that the Global South feels that they really need an injection of money and technology from the Global North, United States, Europe, China, and all that, to bring up their infrastructure so that they can be part of the global conversation. So I was looking around to find out about technology. And I found it was in the Global South. It's not like everybody in the Global South is disconnected. It is that they have terrible inequality. So very wealthy people have good internet connections. They have high-speed broadband. They usually have satellite communications, top-line computer equipment, and all that. But the vast majority of people don't have access to that because they're poor, and they haven't built out the infrastructure into their areas. It's only in big cities, and even the best neighborhoods. Outside of that, connection gets spotty, and the further you get out of the boonies, then you get to some place you barely have anything. So it's a very uneven picture in that part of the world. So the question is, well, what do we do about it, right? So their suggestion is, well, they should get contributions from the global north to help them build out their infrastructure into into the rural areas and more inaccessible areas. So they feel that they need that infrastructure.
Well, I believe that they need to get the lights first. You can build all you want internet, but if you don't have lights over there, I mean, they have people like in Cuba all the time. They only have like 8 hours of lights.
So the infrastructure should be started at a baseline with like delivering electricity.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Before anything else. Yes. Obviously.
So the case they often make, though, is that in this modern society, you need the internet to access some of those basic things. Telemedicine, stuff like that, right? So that's the case they make. I mean, I get on these conference calls, and one of the things they always do is say, the global north, you guys need to contribute your fair share. And there has been a lot of talk about what that would look like. Then sometimes there's this tug of war between whose standards are we going to use, US-based standards or Chinese. Then it's going to be Huawei or Cisco, right? And it's like, okay, here we go again. Why don't we come up with one standard and have both companies build equipment that meets that whatever that one standard
There you go. Yeah.
So, but, who's going to lead that? Are we going to lead it? They going to lead it? Should we set up an international consortium to lead it? So that's kind of conversation. Here we go. China's making a big push to build a global architecture based on its standard and technology. They're already talking about 6G. They had 5G and 6G.
Yeah.
6G is coming. And this is again another one of the complaints that the global south has. Oh yeah, we don't even have 5G yet. You're already talking about 6G.
Yes, sir.
You know, but there are parts that do have 5G. Again, it's an imbalance in a lot of these countries.
But I think in some countries, you know, like a lot of other, I'm not sure what the countries are, but you know, we've given them money to, let's say, fix their lights or their water, and they end up using the money for something else. So that's what, no one's going to help you in the future.
Well, that's,
You know?
there's an interesting conversation about, it kind of goes like this. You know, we say, okay, we kind of been giving you aid for a long time. And where is it? Right? Where's the infrastructure? Where's all of this stuff? Right? And then we say, okay, we want to audit and have a paper trail, so we want to make sure our money is being used in the way we intended to build infrastructure and all that. And they say, that's colonialism.
No, is it?
That's, you know, that's intrusive. You don't trust us, right? And so a lot of countries say, well, that's the United States and Western Europe. You know, you're being colonialist or like. The Chinese would say, here's the money.
That's true.
Oh, they do this boomerang thing. Here's the money, but you got to buy our equipment. They're okay with that, but then we'll bring in all the Chinese workers to establish it. But we're still charging you for it. So we're giving you the money. It's our technology and our workers building it.
You're still going to pay.
So it's just kind of the money recycles back to China. Oh, by the way, it was a loan and we're charging you interest for it.
For every day, yeah.
Right? So now you need to pay us back the interest and say, well, wait, and we own the infrastructure that you're using. So a lot of times countries are agreeing to this because they want the infrastructure so bad. I figure, well, we'll negotiate out.
Yeah. We'll make money from it.
Once we get the infrastructure, then we can start making our economies more competitive and pay off the loans. That's the thought. So the internet is really under a lot of threat. There are the malactors, bad actors, bad guys, right? You hear every day breach incidents, data exfiltration, DDoS attacks. So part of it, I want you to think from this point of view of a government. Because you need this infrastructure to run your economy. But you're constantly under attack. And if you're a government that's under-resourced, you still have to go to either Europeans, the Americans, or the Chinese to get your infrastructure. You don't build any, you don't make any of the equipment there. And so,
You're not going to know.
well, that's kind of right, that's what they complain about. So, but they need the infrastructure.
So you got to accept it. I mean,
So,
oh well,
you know,
regardless. It's just who you want who you want to have access more to your stuff. You want China, America, or who? Yeah.
So, U.S. have made the case. We're trying to make the case that if you use Chinese stuff, they'll surveil you. The Chinese are making the case if you use U.S. stuff, they'll surveil you.
Yeah.
And we said, well, we're nicer than they are.
That's true.
And they'll go, well, not really,
Yeah.
because from their perspective, we're always asking, where's the money? You know, you're not abusing human rights. We're kind of like this nanny over them. And the Chinese don't really care. All they want to do is get paid.
Get the interest back, yeah.
Right? So you just pay. The Chinese are like, we're not going to school you about your behavior.
But wait, America gets interest too, yeah?
America is like, you know.
Do we
well,
get interest too?
We got to, yeah.
But
But our private companies do, it's not really government.
yeah.
But the United States, we also say, well, you violated human rights, you do this, you do that. Too much baggage, right? So the thing is, it's too much baggage. Just don't deal with the Chinese. That's also the reason why the French have been getting kicked out, too, in place of, like, this is for more military stuff, in place of Russia, in places there. So one of the things we do on this enforcement side, so it's really gotten tough. American companies that want to do business in a place like India, China, they said, you got to run everything through our servers. Indian government finally said that too. Everything's got to go through Indian government controlled servers. Now, so we're concerned about backdoors. And again, surveillance. And also, they said, wait a minute too, a lot of our providers have to deal with things like web filters and content censorship. Big time. And if you're a company like Facebook, you know, I know most Americans, especially y'all young folks, not really into Facebook. But Facebook is still big in other parts of the world. It's huge. Like in Brazil, the number one platform is YouTube. In some places it's TikTok, some places it's Instagram. But globally, Facebook is still a big player.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of Americans have stopped using it, especially younger Americans. Old geezers, you know. My contemporaries use it. I never have. You know, after I read the terms of service, I was not doing that. Get out of here, right? But then they went around and they bought Instagram, and now, you know, you can't really get away from them almost. They're on another platform.
Sure. And now they have Marketplace, so
Yeah.
like I sell stuff on there all the time.
Yeah.
Many people do. So.
Yeah. And then LinkedIn, I think, is Microsoft. Somebody bought LinkedIn not too long ago.
I think they're Microsoft, yeah.
And then what I found is, you know, you just can't get away from these guys. So,
Well, and then the thing is, at least they're telling you, because there's other ones that they just do it any regardless. They don't even tell you. So you have to, you know. What?
and there we go. All right, you said it. This is a governance issue. Do we have a right to be informed? Do you think we have a right for companies to tell them we don't want them to use our data to train their AI?
I would say yes.
Should that be a regulation?
I would say yeah.
Okay, so you guys are ready to orchestrate a campaign? Think about it now. Let's think about it. What if, how many college students are there in America? You think it's up in the millions?
Maybe.
Google it. How many college students are there in America? You guys could be a political force if you organize.
Sure.
And I'm not saying partisan. Forget the Democrats or Republicans. That's old school. I'm serious. That's old school.
Yeah, they got a green team now.
They're still dealing with, you know, what I would say is 20th century politics. They haven't emerged in the 21st century politics.
They have a green team.
That's you guys.
There's roughly 18 million.
18 million
Wow.
students. So what if you guys, you know, start connecting with other students? History would say it happened here first. Right? Start connecting with other students and say, wait a minute. Let's build a 21st century politics. Let's assert our rights to not be censored, not to be surveilled, to not have our data used without our permission for training AI. Come up with like a Bill of Rights or something, or set a proposal, get all these other students at other universities to sign on to it. I'm going to tell you something. You said 18 million? Politicians will look at the numbers. There's 18 million of them. That's 18 million votes. what if, maybe we should start listening to these young people about what they want from the digital environment, right? Because most consumers are totally clueless. I mean, most people are surveilled. In fact, we pay for our own surveillance.
It's true.
We put Siri and Alexa in our house, that little Roomba thing that goes, you know what it does?
Yeah, it cleans the floor.
No, it maps your house. I went to
That's
a
true.
conference and the CEO of the company that makes that little thing that goes around and vacuums it, talks about that it maps.
Where it's
It does
going.
a floor plan and maps your house. And then it sends it to them. Why do they want a floor plan of your house?
Give it to the board.
Hello.
SWAT knows it.
The squad knows every corner of your house, yeah.
Who knows, right? But still, so all these things that we have conduct surveillance on us to create this digital dossier, this profile of who we are. Now we have super powerful AI tools that can aggregate all that information, right?
Or it's being used for innovation.
Yes. Yeah, we're innovating. Yeah, privacy out the door.
Right?
Right? So, everybody's taking everybody's everything, right? They're slurping up all the
True.
information. And that information is a vast network of trading. It's like, see, this is, okay, guys, this is another thing that could happen. We know they got our stuff. Two things. So there's a guy named Jaron Lanier, and he wrote a book called You Are Not a Gadget.
You're not a gadget.
Right. He's a big time. Our data, we ought to get a piece of it.
The money?
Yeah. He said we should get a little of that action, right? So every time he came up with his algorithm that where every time your data is sold, and it's microseconds, it just goes, and you get little. He said that we get a little piece of that, and it would go into like this crypto bank every time your data is sold, and then you would have access to that bank that you could buy anything you want on the internet or whatever. Like you could purchase this crypto account that is added to every time your data is being sold. What do you guys think about that? Want to make a little?
Why not?
Well, right now it's happening. You're not getting anything, right? So why not get a little something for it?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. We could make that as the argument. If they want to sell our data, that they can keep it whatever. That's the.
You got to get a piece of it.
There you go.
The other thing, the other way of looking at it would be to set up a commodities trading. So since data is a commodity, like we have the Wall Street, Standard & Poor's, you have the Dow, right? But as your data is being sold, you set up a trading network. So it's totally transparent. It's like here's they got your data, somebody says they want to buy it, you say, well, it's my data, so I have 51% ownership, it's like shares. And everybody can buy shares from you. They can say, okay, we'd like to buy, you're a really hot commodity, you're on all these great sites, you're a gamer and all that. There's a lot of people who want your data. We will buy a greater percentage of that data off. Right? And so it would be this huge trading network. We'd all be trading our dossiers and different data about us, but you would still maintain a certain amount of ownership.
Wow, so there'll probably be like auditors, right? Oh, let me get audited.
But
See how much I'm worth, you know?
No, but it would all be automated. So AI would do all this. So the idea is create a digital marketplace, have everybody's data that's traded, be very transparent who's buying it and where it's going.
That's
The
cool.
idea is to add transparency to it on top of you guys getting a piece.
Well, okay, so then that's kind of going against then what our thing that we're talking about right now with all the students.
What's that?
If we don't want people to have our data.
Right. But you have to have a piece. So in other words, they're doing it now without your permission and without paying. There's no transparency, and your guys are not getting compensated.
Yeah.
So if you guys say, wait a minute, we don't like this, I want the choice. I want the choice that, hey, take me out of the market. Right to be forgotten. Like the GDPR. I don't want to play. Leave me alone. But other people say, hey, I like this deal, I want some money. Trade my fact, I want you to trade it to everybody. Because I want a piece of all of that trading.
Okay.
Right? So you would be able to, on the whole spectrum, but it would be your choice. Whether you want to be part of the commodity exchange or you want to be completely, like a digital hermit, right? But it would be your choice. Now you have no choice in that. So again, what do you think about that as a proposal?
It's good. I think it'll go. Yeah.
Okay, we got one, we got a yes, you? What do you think?
Y'all all want to get paid, man. Come on, man.
Would you want to check it out? Say, hey, don't use my data.
They're already using it.
Huh? Think it's weird? Okay. Charlie, Cleopatra, what do you think? I'm having fun up here. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you could bid your.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna get paid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you want to get paid.
God,
That's
okay,
what.
you're driving.
She wants to get paid, yeah.
Okay, you want to get paid. Got it.
Done.
Charlie, you want to get paid?
Yeah, I'm gonna get paid.
They're good.
Okay, y'all want to get paid. Okay.
All right, done.
What about you, Alan?
I mean, information can just go everywhere and anywhere. It's just so hard to just say, yeah, just give me a small percentage because that's, I mean, I wouldn't really put a price tag on anybody's better information right now. But, I mean, I guess as far as you could just like bid your private information to a certain degree, I don't know how to make cards in that sense. I'm not sure, but getting a small percentage,
Why not?
not really. I'm not sure.
Okay. What do you think?
I guess it's more bad.
You don't want the money?
I don't know, I just don't want them to have my information.
Okay.
They already got it for free.
You're the one. No, but what if we were to like in Europe, GDPR? You can say, I want you to delete my data.
You can say it, but they still have it in other countries.
Huh?
Authentic and everything, like they go through and actually delete all my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have anything, I don't care how much money.
Okay.
But the GDPR in that country, it's only deleted in that country on those
No,
websites.
no, it's
If you go to
deleted.
another website in a different country, they still third parties
European
access.
Union country, if you go to they have what's called data protection office. So if I'm in Ireland and I say I want out, all the other European countries have to comply.
But I can come to USA and
Well,
find out the
that's it.
information. There you go. So that information is still here in the United States, still here in Canada,
Guess
still in
what?
Russia, still in
That's what they
China.
do. So in Europe, under GDPR, if because Microsoft already got sued on this, they were transferring data to a server in the U.S. They said, it's in the U.S. And they said, did you read the fine print? GDPR says it doesn't matter where the data is stored. If it's a European and you're operating in this market, you got to get rid of their stuff, even if you've offshored, right? Because you're still doing business in Europe. So, and they fined Microsoft a lot of money because they were trying to get around it. They fined Google, they fined Microsoft.
Yeah.
All these companies are getting big fines because they're trying to circumvent the European Union's rules. And they're paying the fines. And the reason they're paying the fines is because there's 500 million people in the European Union. They got money. So they just want to stay in the market. They don't want to get kicked out of the market. So they figure the fines are just a cost of doing business.
Yeah.
I mean, they're multi-billion-dollar companies. They can take it. And it's not very much. And at the same time, they're trying to comply and sneak at the same time, and then they get caught again, and they get, it's like a cat and mouse game for playing. So this thing here, I've got something up there called TRIPS. Trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. So under the World Trade Organization, the United States can look at intellectual. See, this is the funny thing. Corporations and companies can use these mechanisms, right, to protect their intellectual property. So I'm just going to throw out, say, GM comes up with a new type of battery technology. Hey guys, we're real close to some serious changes in battery technology. We're real close. There's a company in Germany, it's a German-Swiss company, and they've done a prototype of a battery that if they scale up and put it in a car, you don't get 200 miles range, you get like 10,000 miles.
Wow. There we go.
If they scale up.
Bye-bye Tesla, yeah. Shit, that only goes 200 miles. I can't even make it to Dallas without it shutting down.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. So anyway, they're working on it. This is experimental.
That's nice.
And you always have to take with a grain of salt a lot of these claims a company makes about their technology and where it's going to go. Sometimes scaling up isn't as easy as they say.
Yeah, it might be real expensive, yeah.
So we'll see, how expensive
Yeah.
it will be. But anyway, so they look at that. One of course, the United States and China have been at each other's throats again. Right? 5G, AI, right? Battery technology. The two countries are going after each other. We're looking at who's cheating, who's not cheating. Both sides accuse the other side of cheating.
They probably both are cheating, I mean.
And they bring these claims to the World Trade Organization under this TRIPS. And then it begins a series of litigation that can take 10, 15 years. Nothing happens quickly. So did we talk a little bit about internet crime report, right?
Taxonomy.
Extortion, non-payment. Yeah, we did talk about non-payment, non-delivery. This became a big deal during the pandemic because all the companies were ordering PPE, and a lot of those websites were completely
bogus. Yeah.
Personal data breach. I've been data breached so many times I've just given up. It's it started with the OPM hack when I was in government, then the Equifax hack. There's been so many United Healthcare. I mean, they got it. They could make a little robot me with everything.
Yeah, we know about you bots, yeah.
So I'm done. Eric.
Eric.
Identity theft, right? Business email compromise. Didn't I say Houston, Texas was one of the number one places because of all our Fortune 500 companies. So
Yeah.
it's huge. This is the one that gets a lot of the older people. I'm sorry. Okay, grandpa. You shouldn't pick on grandpa.
Yeah, don't cook on grandma.
And they said, we're monitoring your system. You got some kind of calls, credentials, email, because we're going to protect support.
Oh no, and also what to do, hey, we need to update your computer, there's a virus. We're gonna send the update to you right now, just click on the link.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
Super. They get you every time, right? Then I think I talked about this. How much? And this is way increased now.
I was about to say,
Oh, yeah, this is 2020.
I was about to say there's
And
nothing.
then the Interpol, I think I talked a little bit about Interpol. I talked about Interpol. Yeah. Okay. They were conducting what they call Operation Pangea 13. So police, customs, and health regulatory authorities around the world have joined forces. Apparently, there was illicit medicine and bogus vaccines sold during COVID.
Full of water, right?
Right? And a lot, yeah, really.
It's full of water.
You get
That's
the
it. Oh my God, it stings. Yeah, it's just water,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, think about how despicable you have to be in the middle of a pandemic to sell bogus vaccines and medicine. You gotta be pretty blunt, right? Because you know it could potentially kill people. But to some folks, making the money is more important.
Yeah.
So they seized about 34,000. These are counterfeit, substandard masks. Remember, everybody was getting
Yeah.
what they called it
N95s, yeah. But it was just a regular mask.
Right.
They just wrote down with some ink N95, let you believe it. Yeah.
And then they also seized about 20 billion illicit pharmaceutical items off the market. Remember, there was a lot of people who claimed that if you take, what was that stuff called? Hydrochlorophyll? Something that would cure COVID. It's a malaria drug.
Mm-hmm.
And it's used for a lot of different things. But it's not indicated. We have to, this is where we get into the legal framework. Right? So just think about this. You know, remember we talked about John Perry Barlow, Ed Surf, and Tim Berners-Lee. You know, there was all this idea that the internet was going to be full of a world of free expression, boundless creativity, equality.
It's creativity, all right.
Yeah, really. And some of those things did happen. There was a lot of great stuff, but a lot of really bad stuff. But you know, I gotta think that any new technology, we're gonna have a lot of, I mean, there's already a lot of talk about what AI is going to do. And remember I said, it's like AI is going to solve every problem or Terminator is going to kill us, right? There's nothing, not a whole lot in the middle, but that's what really usually happens, is stuff in the middle. Some people use it for very positive things, and some people use it for very negative things. That's what people do. It's just another tool in the hands of imperfect human beings. Right?
Yeah.
So we shouldn't really expect it to be any better or worse than any other tool we've had. Right?
Yeah.
That we can use for what we have. So, and, you know, I don't like to get too pessimistic or too optimistic.
Yeah, but I think that other kinds of things like a shovel is used for something good but can also kill someone.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's just the level of access that AI has to everything more than a regular shovel or regular, you know, this or that or an item. As opposed to AI has access maybe even to people's DNA. They're going to have access, I mean,
Have access to
everything. So this is different than just a regular
And
little
it's
tool.
super intelligence.
Exactly.
Right, we're gonna, so is AI gonna be sentient? Is it sentient? I don't know. But will it have access to everything? But so what? What is it gonna do? What does it want to do with that? Well, what we know now is AI does what it's told to do. It doesn't really have any want separate from what it's told to do.
At the moment. Yeah.
So, but people can tell it to do bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or it can misread. See, we have I was reading this interesting article about the trouble with AI. It said we keep treating AI like it's a person.
Yeah.
So I can ask you questions or say, hey, go do something, but you automatically know due to trial and error kind of what I mean. You can make inferences because we have a relationship, you know, but AI will only understand exactly what you say. there's no nuance or subtlety to it. So I'm gonna have to bring the book so I can give you one of the examples. But it was talking about, someone says that, okay, well, I think I've told this story, but I'll bore you with it. So the Air Force, there's a big arms race with AI in the world. Every military is developing AI systems, and so right now, the policy, it's only a policy, is that humans have to make the kill decision. Right? AI can do a lot, but we don't want AI killing people without authorization. Go kill it. Are you sure? Yeah. So, but they want to test it anyway, because the feeling is that our adversaries, China, Russia, whatever, other countries are going to use fully autonomous AI systems. So the Air Force was gaming this out, literally gaming it. It was a big computer simulation. And so one of the really, really dangerous things that pilots do, that the Air Force has to do, is take out enemy air defenses, the radars and all the missiles. You have to take all that out so that your planes can get through to their target. Right? So what they thought is, aha, we'll develop AI, fully autonomous, to go take out those air defenses, come up with an algorithm. And the algorithm they used came out of the gaming culture. Right? We'll just tell AI you get points for taking out radar and missile bases. We give a grid. Right? Inside that grid, everything in there we know is bad guy. So take it out and go do it, right? So they said, okay, let's look at two different scenarios. One is the AI with a human tether. Humans still have to say yes or no. AI can go identify the targets, because we know there's people inside those radar bases, right? So we still want the human to make the kill decision. And then the other trial would be, we'll take humans out, we'll just kill everything in this box, right? So when the one where the human was in making the decision, they told